All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Josh
And your other boy, Caleb.
coming to you from JNC. Thanks for listening today, and welcome to Cloud Thoughts episode 1. So, the point of this is to really just be really loose, because I think when we first started doing podcasts and such, I was really like a stickler about wanting to, like, okay, we gotta do this, then we gotta do this, and then have these things. So we thought, thinking, like a cloud, where our thoughts come and go, like clouds. That was the motto, and we're going to try to stick to it throughout the series. So basically everything we say on this podcast will be our opinions, and I want to stress that very importantly, like just getting the nitty-gritty out of the way. Like a lot of the stuff we're going to say is our opinion, so just take it with a grain of salt, unless we like say, oh, we have a friend we actually have some mutual friends who are might be getting into their masters for kinesiology, and we have a friend who's working through his mechanic levels. So unless we have that, just take what we say with a grain of salt.
We also go to school. We also have a little bit of knowledge in some subjects.
Well,
so we might be basing our opinions off of that, but
we're also arts majors. So
yeah, so exactly. Take whatever we say with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And we'll hopefully hope you guys will enjoy. And so I think before we were Whoa, I just went through puberty again. Okay. Before we were getting going, I was like, oh, I wonder what we like what to talk about. And then I think Caleb was like starting to rap Sicko Mode, and then
Yo, I actually wrote that song.
He sold it to Travis.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a bad thing, but is Travis Scott white?
No, he's black.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say
He's definitely black.
You have like the connections there.
Yeah.
No, but
shut up. You're like, okay, anyway.
No, I that wouldn't apply. Okay, it doesn't matter. But
there's a inside joke with Josh. He claims he's 1/16 black. So,
but we'll go. That's another cloud thought.
His Trinidadian heritage. But anyway, that's a conversation for a different time.
That's a whole other conversation. But anyways, the point I was trying to make is that he wanted to. We were just talking about what rap. Like I was saying, I really missed music from like 2010 to 2012, granted like maybe 2008 to 2012. That for me was like my prime time, because I was born like 97, so, and Caleb was born 98, so you're born 98, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So where that is like the age group, and I think most of them see that's the thing with like before we get into the music for a second, but like the whole millennial bracket thing, that really confuses me sometimes, because I can't tell. Like I've seen so many age bracket things where it's like it'll say,
I don't even know. Like I know for a fact that when I see a 25-year-old, I consider that a millennial. But if you look at the bracket, I think millennials go up to 2000. So we would still be considered in that, but just barely. But I don't even consider myself a millennial, because I don't do the same things that millennials do. Like, I don't know. I could be part of it.
You keep talking, and I'm gonna Google this as we go along, because I'm actually really curious.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if I see a 25-year-old or a 26-year-old, those people are millennials. But I don't know if I'm considered one. I'm 20 years old. I'm born in 98. This is being recorded in 2019.
So this is from genhq.com.
Okay.
Again, like, take that as you will. But so, okay, it says that millennials are born from That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, it says okay, hold on. It says the millennials are born from 1977 to 1995. So that's not me. That would probably be my older sister.
Right, that's what I'm thinking,
but Gen Z is born from 1996, and it says to be decided.
Because people are still really, that's a huge generation.
It is, which doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're born in 1977, I feel like you would be about 20 when like smartphones and stuff came. No, well,
whoa,
yeah, you'd be about like 20 when a lot of like the smartphones and stuff.
30. 1977.
Well, if you were like now, you'd be 30.
No, you'd be 40 now.
No.
Yeah. 1977?
What's
2019? Listen,
if you add 30 to 1970, what do you get?
2000.
Plus 7.
That's 37.
Yeah, so they'd be okay. No, I'm not saying. No, I'm saying when like iPhones first came out, like early 2000s.
2007.
Okay.
I swear the first iPhone came out in 2007, didn't it?
Okay.
2006.
Okay, sure. So, like I'm saying, like, so I don't really see how that's millennials.
No, but I know exactly what you're saying. How is a 37-year-old a millennial? I have no idea.
Okay. Anyways. Okay, but where was I going with this?
I have no idea.
Oh no, I was saying age music. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if your age of music was like 2008 to 2012.
Yeah.
Because
Kyle Cruz, shout out.
Tyo Cruz, you had some of my favorites. I say my favorites, I don't even know what I'm talking about now. Like to me, that was when you had a lot of variety with music. And then okay, now I'm gonna kind of transfer over or get back into what I was saying. So I was saying that a lot of good music was coming from, like, you had a lot of variety then, because you had EDM, which was peaking a bit more than it was in the late, I would say. I don't really know when EDM started. I feel like it was in the late 80s, 90s. It was probably in the 90s.
Yeah, I'd say around there.
But then it really took off, I think, in the around 2008 to 2012 was when, because then you had, Avicii coming in, you had Calvin Harris, and I know he made music a little earlier than that, but and then David Guetta and so on.
Yeah,
that's just to name a few. I know you have Darude Sandstorm, he's a legend. But and I was saying that was like a really good period of music because you had some hip hop that was coming in, you had some like good rap coming in, you had like a lot of variety now. But then I think arguably now, again, this is just my opinion, but that a lot of the music being pumped out now is just like really heavy, not heavy rap, but it's very slow and very like the same old trap beat.
I think I know what you're talking about. So right now it's like super rap heavy, because you can even see it in pop music. People are making rap songs, like they're rapping in their pop songs. Ariana Grande did it recently.
She rapped?
Yeah, there was even this debate about how she stole Soulja Boy's flow.
Oh, I know, I heard that. Yeah.
So there's that, and Taylor Swift was rapping in one of her songs from a couple years ago. So rap is the most popular genre right now, so you've got a lot of people doing that. And it almost, to me, it feels like there's like a formula that everybody's following to make it's like the formula to success of making a hip hop song, and so everybody just follows it, and you kind of you feel like you're getting the same music over and over and over again. There's a few songs that kind of jump out that are a little bit different, but for the most part, it's all the same thing. I think so. I don't want to be rude, but I feel like every Atlanta rapper, they make the same music. It all sounds the same. I can't distinguish when I'm listening to a rapper from Atlanta. I don't understand the difference in the song. Obviously, I can hear the vocals are different and the lyrics, but other than that, it sounds the same. I feel like the rap industry has just this constant formula that everybody's following, and I think that's the same thing with pop. Like, pop music is doing this thing right now where they're making pop songs with EDM choruses. So they'll sing a song, and then when they get to the chorus, it'll just be an EDM song. I hate it. I can't stand it. Like the Chainsmokers, that's all they do. They'll have a EDM chorus, and then they have it's like pop in between. Like for the verses, it's a pop song, and then they get to the chorus, and it's an EDM song. And they keep doing this over and over and over again. They've been doing this for like 5 to 7 years now. It's funny. So boring.
Everyone's probably seen it, by the way. Have you seen? I forget who was doing it, but shout outs to him, whoever it was. Calling out who did the song Paris?
Oh, Chainsmokers.
Chainsmokers, yeah. You know that guy? He came on Twitter. It was like literally the same 3 chords.
Yeah, they just released a song. It's the same thing. It's the same.
I know.
I listen to it on the radio. Okay, so I'm in the car, right? I'm driving to work, and I sometimes when I go to work, I just put on the radio. I could do my Bluetooth, but I don't know what it is when I go to work, because I work at 5 o'clock, because I have school during the day and I go to work, right?
Right.
So I go to work, and my work is right when there's rush hour. So there's a lot of cars. And I don't know, something about me when I drive, I'd rather just not have to worry about changing the song. I don't like every song on my phone. Some of them I've listened to and I don't want to listen to anymore, or whatever the case may be, so I'll skip them, right? So I don't want to listen to this song. And for some reason, when I'm driving to work and there's rush hour and I got to focus on the road, I don't want to be clicking the button on my steering wheel to change a song. I'd rather just listen to the radio and let it play. And like, I just become a total
Just mellow.
Right. I just become
Okay.
mellow and just enjoy the right. So anyway, so I'm going to work and I hear that the Chainsmokers have a new song. I was listening to Kiss 92.5, which is a very popular radio station here in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And I already don't like the Chainsmokers because of that, the idea of where you have a EDM chorus with like pop verses. That just, I hate that. I feel like it's such an unoriginal and so easy.
It's a little, the river's kind of been sucked dry a little bit.
It's so easy to make a song. Like, I feel like Avicii killed it and everybody followed Avicii after that. And it's just the same thing over and over again. And I'm sick and tired of it. So the Chainsmokers, the guy, the host, he goes, "Oh, I got a new Chainsmokers song." I'm like, oh, okay, this will be fun, because I saw that video where the guy said it's the same 3 chords. I go, watch, it's gonna be the same thing when these guys put out a song. They put out the new song. I couldn't tell the difference between that and Paris. It's the exact same song. I can't remember. I gotta figure out which one it is, but it sounded the exact same. Let me go on Apple Music here.
No, while you're watching this, like, I know, and that's unfortunate. But real quick, yeah, shout outs to Avicii. I loved his music so much. I think to me that was like some real stuff, like some real good lyrics and music.
Revolutionized the pop. Like he integrated.
Arguably he had a big influence.
And
in
he did it with country songs. It wasn't even.
He did, yeah.
It was amazing. It was such a. It was.
Man, I don't
fucking hate that
this is something I never figured out. I don't know if Avicii actually wrote his songs. I feel like he did. Like, but I'm not sure.
The lyrics of them, like
the lyrics. I don't know. I feel like he did, but I don't know. Either way, I think he did some really good stuff, and it was really sad. I think he passed away from alcohol poisoning. He was going hard on like alcohol for a good portion of his life, and then when he actually got himself like solid, he I think it was just like too much on his. I think it was his liver, but I'm sure someone's gonna correct me. Either way, he was still a legend, and
I think it's This Feeling. I'm pretty sure it's This Feeling by the Chainsmokers.
Yeah, we can't play it though. We're gonna get
because we'll get copyright strike. I think anyway, they just dropped an entire album called Sick Boy, and I haven't listened. I've only listened to one song, which is the song I heard on the radio. I guarantee they all sound the same. But
what were you gonna say? Like you because you got really hyped there off mic.
I hate the fact that it's the same copy and paste formula over and over and over again, and we just as a society take it in, and we don't even think about what we're listening to, how it's the exact same thing as the last song we just heard. It sucks. Like, music is awesome to listen to when it's original. I like when Travis Scott released his album. It was different. Like, he's such a different artist than what most people do, especially mainstream hip hop. Because you can go to like local hip hop. If you want to go to Atlanta hip hop, you want to go to LA hip hop, you want to go to Toronto hip hop, whatever it is, they're all going to have their own style. But mainstream hip hop has kind of gotten to like this very, like copy and paste kind of formula. And then Travis Scott dropped Astroworld last summer, and it was amazing because it was so different. It didn't follow that. I love Stargazing. I think Stargazing is such a...
Oh, by Kygo. It was a Kygo?
No, Stargazing is he has this. I think he has a song called Stargazing, but it's,
okay.
No, it's
different song.
So Travis Scott made a song. It's his intro song. It's like the album song, and it's so Travis Scott. It's so different from nobody else could make a song like that. But you look at all these different rappers, and they could make a song that somebody else could copy, like Migos. The Migos have every song the Migos make could be replicated by another Atlanta rapper. They all sound the same.
I guess it depends then, right? It's like, I forget. I've heard multiple times that like music taste is so subjective, which is true. And I mean, if you like, well, it's weird because obviously there's enough people who like this kind of music to listen to it. And I don't know whether it's just because of the, like, I say next generation, but that's very vague, but like the next kind of group of teens coming in now, like that's the music they're hearing most, so then they're listening to it because, you have, I don't know if Jake Paul is like, for instance, like Jake Paul listening to that kind of music, or just it's like someone like influential to them, like listening to that kind of music, and it's like, oh, I really want to listen because it's like really cool, everything like that. I say cool, and I'm 21. I really shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, super cool, dude.
But no, I think that's probably why. I think it'll have its time. I do. Like EDM had its time for a while, and now it's really shifting to well, because like when I listen to when I hear like think rap, I'm like, oh, like some like fast tracks or like some really good like flow, but again, I don't really listen to rap, so this is
you're so right. You are so right. Rap has totally changed.
It has.
The genre of hip hop has completely transferred to something totally new. It's all about
it's usually one of 5 things. Yeah,
it's extreme mixing. It's like the producers, they go into these tracks and they mix and match. They put all these effects in the beats, and they mess with the sounds. What's
reverb and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
it's not even that. Like they'll.
You mean auto-tune?
No, they do something with the track. Like they put in these like effects in it, and it's kind of like where you like change the plus minus or something. I don't know. I'm not a producer. I don't know what I'm talking about. But
okay,
they're messing with it. They put on these insane effects. All these producers do it, and it's basically becoming this huge, I guess, computer generated song. And then if you look at the old stuff, it's just a beat with a nice flow. That's the flow is on beat. The guy's talking about real stuff, like real shit. That's what he's talking about, and people like listen to that, and they related to it, and that's why they're listening to it. And hip hop now is so different. That's why when Joyner Lucas went on that song with Eminem, that was so sick, because it was a song that was popular that didn't fit the current hip hop norm. It was back to the old fashioned kind of beat flow. Like, you flow on the beat. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that, but you're on the beat. Yeah, you're on the beat, and you're talking about real shit. You're not talking about how you're high off Xans every.
Yeah, I know. That's because every time again, like I'm not like rap isn't for me. That's probably like the opposite end of like the spectrum of music I listen to. But from what every time I listen to it, I find it's like one of 3 things. It's usually like about getting laid. It's about drugs, or is about partying, or like
a lot about drugs now,
or a combination of the 3, or just like 4 is pure flexing. Just like, oh, I got this car.
Flexing.
And I just it's weird because I've seen a couple like old school rappers like comment on this, or I think an older producer that he was talking about like how much is like rap is just so trash. Again, this is his opinion, not mine, but I don't know. I just feel like rap now, a lot of it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, any of it to me.
You know what? I'm gonna. I think, I don't know where I heard this from, because I think it was from an interview on like a radio show or something, kind of like what you just alluded to. But I think that the music today is very much targeted towards younger white kids. And
okay.
Because this is so. Most of the time, the kids who are like, for example, Lil Uzi Vert.
Okay.
Look at the music that he makes, right? It's all about taking drugs. And I mean, most of the time, who's taking drugs? It's like impressionable white kids. I mean, think about it.
I'll hear you. Okay.
Think about it. It's impressionable white kids. So the music that's being made today, because if you look at who's listening to the music now, if you think about who used to listen to hip hop and now who's listening to hip hop, you've got a lot more younger white kids listening to it. Or you know what? I'm not even going to say white specifically, like Caucasian. I'm going to say whitewashed. Like the people who live in like a whitewashed society.
Okay.
Right? So those are, because they never used to listen to hip hop. Right? They always listen to pop music, whatever it is. Now there's an increase of all these whitewashed kids listening to hip hop, and it's because it's something that they can listen to, and they're kind of relating to it. Like music, for example, Lil Pump. Like Lil Pump, all he does is make club songs. He makes songs where you can dance to it at a club, you can go nuts, and he talks about popping on X, popping on, like he's talking about how he's taking drugs and stuff, and he's talking about how he's flexing on people, and you've got all these young kids who've got all these expensive clothes and they're flexing on people. It's relatable music, and it's specifically, in my opinion, it's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
I think that it's specifically targeted to those kids. And I remember, I'm pretty sure I heard a rapper, it was on a radio show, I can't remember exactly who it was, but I think he was saying that maybe it was even J. Cole. Maybe it was J. Cole who said something about how you're making this music because you're targeting it towards these younger whitewashed kids who are living a life that's nothing like yours, but they are relating to your music because they can. It's more relatable than what the hip hop scene was, 10, 20 years ago, because they couldn't relate to that, so they wouldn't listen to it.
I guess so. Because, I mean, the rap that I've kind of known, I guess, or what I've, kind of gotten used to is, rap that's usually talking about, the struggle, or it's talking about, a rough upbringing, and then it's, the changing that you've had. Because I know, Kendrick Lamar's, my rap knowledge is sparse, so whatever I'm saying, it's just the odd ones I've heard. I know Kendrick Lamar has gone off and, had his moments of story of, his, his rise and everything like that. Of course, Eminem, infamous for that. But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know is B.O.B. count as a rapper?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That guy,
I see. I think so. See, I would think
artist.
so.
I see him as a pop artist. I feel like he rapped.
Mm-hmm.
He exercised the skill of rapping.
Yeah.
But I don't consider him a hip hop artist who talked about his struggles. He's like
Have you listened to
Flo
all of his music?
Well, think about Flo Rida. Flo Rida raps.
That doesn't
raps.
To me, that doesn't.
No.
I don't think he raps.
No, he raps.
No,
How does he not rap? He doesn't sing.
Because to me, he sounds just. If you're saying B.O.B. doesn't rap, then I think he's.
No.
He
B.O.B. raps. B.O.B. raps. He's not a hip hop artist.
Let's give an example. Really popular example in 2000. I'm gonna hit myself if I don't get this right. I think it's 2011 or 2010 when Nothing on You came out. B.O.B. and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
To me, I don't see that much of a difference between that song and say Good Feeling by Flo Rida.
Okay, so I think
that sounds to me. To me, that sounds basically the same thing.
Okay,
roughly the same.
And I see what you're going at, and I think there's an important distinction you have to make between rap and hip hop.
Okay.
So rap is a style of speaking, or a style of singing.
Okay.
Hip hop is a genre. So you can rap in a song and it's not hip hop. And you can also
keep talking, it's okay.
And for example, we'll look at Drake, okay? How many songs has Drake made that's clearly not he's not rapping, but it's still considered a hip hop? It's still under the label of hip hop.
So hip hop is more just like an umbrella.
It's an umbrella for it's a genre. But rapping, so we'll look at Flo Rida and B.O.B. Flo Rida and B.O.B. definitely rap.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. But do they make hip hop? I don't think so. It's like Pitbull. Pitbull 100% he raps. But Pitbull doesn't make hip hop, right?
Okay.
So you're seeing you're seeing the distinction. So that's what I mean.
I'm breathing on this so much right now.
That's why it's all good. I think when you look at what people are doing now, it's mainly people are rapping and then they're not. It's still under the hip hop umbrella, but it's so different than what hip hop used to be about.
Yeah, of course. The flow. Okay, hold on. The flow is completely different, and I'm not a rap person. I can even tell that.
Yeah,
but I mean, okay. Where are we? Sorry, where are
we?
Well,
I'm just so basically what I'm. Okay. My whole point is that the reason why rap, in my opinion, has changed is because it's basically targeting a different audience. I mean, look at who listens to J. Cole versus who listens to Lil Pump. It's very different.
I couldn't see. That's something I couldn't tell you.
But see, okay, so that's
more your thing.
The people who listen to J. Cole are, pretty much every black person listens to J. Cole. I'd say older white people. When I say older, I'd say people who are in their 20s,
late 20s.
Yeah, no, maybe even because I listen to J. Cole, so there's people who are in their 20s and whatnot, and then I know I saw your face. Yeah, okay.
No, sorry, I'm just being dumb with this thing.
Yeah,
I think I got it. Okay.
No, trust me, I do listen to J. Cole.
No, I was talking about my mic, but I don't even know who J. Cole is, to be honest.
Okay. Anyway, so I thought you were roasting me for saying I listened to J. Cole.
No, I don't even know who he is. I'm sorry.
No. So I'd say it's people kind of in our age range from 20 and up.
Okay.
And then like all black kids and all black people in general who are listening to J. Cole. Then you look at Lil Pump. Who's listening to Lil Pump? It's 14 to like 18.
Oh, okay. I don't know if. Okay, I'm just trying to like mentally picture who that is. Okay, is Lil Pump the same person that like I know Jake Paul like he hired a rapper one day to like go around with him for like 10 minutes. Who is that?
I think that was 21 Savage.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Speaking of 21, did you hear about him?
I do I like I don't.
Okay, so 21 Savage, this is hilarious.
Okay.
21 Savage
Mm-hmm.
blew up 2, 3, 4 years ago. Okay. He came out with a song called Bank Account. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 AMs in my bank account. Okay. Huge song.
Okay.
Then he goes on features, albums, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Claims he's from Atlanta. He built this entire persona of his based on the claim that he's from Atlanta.
Okay.
He's an Atlanta hood guy. You know, he's a street guy from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So last week,
Mm-hmm.
news blows up that this guy gets arrested by ICE, which is the immigration, basically the immigration unit
for United States.
For the United States.
Okay.
So they target illegal immigrants. Okay.
Okay.
So this guy, they arrest 21 Savage.
Yep.
Turns out he's not from Atlanta. He's from the UK. He came here in 2004 on a visa.
Mm-hmm.
His visa expired in 2006 and he never left.
No.
Yeah. So this guy's
Okay.
been lying about who he really is for the, however long he's been popular.
Well, he's claiming. I don't know. Claiming is a
Claiming
thing.
he's from Atlanta.
Yeah,
Claiming he's like this tough guy, 21, I'm a savage from Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not true. This guy's from Britain. He probably, had a nice upbringing, whatever. And he came here and he faked that entire persona and he made a bunch of hip hop songs. And now he's under, being like investigated by ICE.
Ouch.
Probably going to deport him back to the UK because he's been here illegally for 10 years.
Nice.
Over 10 years.
Nice. Okay. I wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. All right.
Again, this kind of just proves my point how it's all fake. It's all marketed. Because even this guy was not even real. He was tapping into a market that is popular right now. The flexing, his first song is talking about how much money he has. The flexing, the drugs. He talks about how he drinks lean all the time. He talks about how he's a savage. Like, he tapped into that market, and he probably didn't grow up anything like that. So, I mean, the recording industry could be completely fabricated, and it's all.
Of course it is, yeah.
And it sucks because nothing's genuine anymore. Everybody's just trying to get. I mean, you look at it was disgusting. I'm a huge Migos fan. I've been a Migos fan since YRN.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Okay,
but
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say the name of the album.
The listeners probably know what you're talking about. But
yeah, I don't want to say the name of the album because then I'll get shot. And I'm just joking.
Okay.
But so YRN was their first album that I heard of, and then they made YRN 2, and then they came out with a song called Cocoon, and then they came out with their album called Culture. So they came out with Culture, and Culture was huge. Culture was their basically biggest album that they had, and they blew up. And Culture was a transition from the previous Migos, which were basically just a bunch of club songs. I mean, you look at every song they made before Culture, it was all a bunch of club. You'd be in the club and like Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana. Like, it's one of those where you're like jumping upbeat, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they transition into this. They really took hold of the Atlanta scene, or like the Atlanta rapper genre, and they kind of started singing about their upbringing and whatnot, like coming from Atlanta, and people really liked it. People really appreciated the album, and it blew up. And then there was a song Bad and Bougie, which that was on the album too, and that became one of their biggest songs. There's a bunch of songs on there that were really they were really good because they kind of they strayed away from that club making type of music, and then they really they focused in on their own kind of genre, which is Atlanta hip hop kind of a thing. And people appreciated it because they're from Atlanta. They were paying homage to where they're from, and so it was nice. And the songs they made were good. So a year later,
where are you going with this, man?
So listen to this crap,
okay.
right? So in 2018, these guys released a second album. This was awful. The album was clearly all made just to make more money. They basically followed, and they followed this formula for every single song. I'm telling you, there's 25 songs on the album. You listen to 3, you've basically heard all the other ones. I was listening to them consecutively, like I hit shuffle and I was trying to listen to it. I thought I listened to the same song 25 times. It was awful. They rushed through the album. They made it 25 songs because I don't know if you know this, but when you're streaming on Apple Music or Spotify, it's actually better for the creator or the artist to make an album with more songs because you get paid more, right? So think about it this way. If you make an album with 25 songs, whenever that new album is released, people are going to listen to all 25 songs because they want to hear what it's about. Okay. So I don't know. I guess there's a calculation that record labels figured out. But if you make 25 songs and they're all awful, you will make more money than if you made an album with 6 songs and they're all good. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does. And they figured it out. They said, okay, we'll make 25 okay songs that probably nobody will listen to. We'll make more money doing that with the streams versus if we made a 6-song album that was amazing. I have no idea how they calculated it, but it makes sense. They make more money. Yeah. So that's what they did with Culture 2. Migos were super hyped. Everybody was awaiting Culture 2. It was one of the most anticipated albums of 2018. They dropped the album, and if you look at the songs that are people are still listening to today from that album, there's not one.
Ooh.
There's not one song that you hear on the radio. There's not one song that at least with my friend group, we don't talk about that album. We talk about, obviously you talk about Bad and Bougie, you talk about What the Price, you talk about Kelly Price. I can go on and on about Culture 1. But the songs in Culture 2, nobody really remembers. And because they didn't put in the effort that they did for Culture 1. Culture 2 was about juicing out the money. That's all it was. And that's why it kind of pissed me off, because you could see that they didn't really care about the audience.
Like the viewers. Or the listeners, yes.
They didn't really care because they were just, oh, you know what? Let's just make as much money as we can right now, and we're gonna make a 25-song album that nobody's really gonna listen to, and we'll make more money that way.
That's a lot of songs if they roll that themselves, assuming that they did.
Buddy, it's the same song 25 times. It's awful.
What, like the same chords, like the same rhythm?
It's the same flow. It's pretty much the same lyrics. They're talking about the same thing over and over and over again, and the beats are pretty much all the same. It's awful.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway,
well, I would say that's like similar to certain. Well, I can't say it's similar to like their music, but it's similar to, well, it kind of is. Like even so, if they don't go like the what, like is their whole theme like a really like gang life, stuff like that?
Not really gang. They mainly just talk about how they have a ton of money now.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
So they go like the money route basically, and they thought that's what their thing is. They talk about money.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say any one specific, but I think I'll let you fill in the blank. Basically, like any artist who just like really like sexualize a lot of things, like put a whole lot of like innuendos and stuff in their lyrics and whatnot, and that's what they follow, right? And I think, and to me, that's like where where like it's this like super uncreative, but again, it's to follow like a formula, because if I do X thing and I make this kind of like X song or Y song, it'll make like dollar bill.
Yeah.
So
it kind of sucks, man.
It does, yeah.
How everything now is just to make money rather than to actually make something that's rememberable. I don't know. I understand it because on the one hand, you have to look at it from one point of view, right? You have to say that you're not going to be famous forever. So if you can cash out on your current fame and use that money and save it, invest it for your future, I understand that. You know, the Migos are not going to be famous forever. And they pretty much took advantage of their hype. The hype is gone now. People don't really care about the Migos as much as they used to. But when they were hot and they were really popping, they took advantage of it and they made the most money they possibly could. So on that point of view, you can look at it. You can say, well, that's smart. They made their millions with the album, with Culture 2. You know, even though it wasn't a good album, they made their money. And who knows what the Migos did with that? They probably invested it. They probably did whatever with it. So it makes sense.
They invested it?
I don't know, man. I don't know who these people are, but these guys,
yeah.
man, rich people, they pay people to invest their money.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can look at it from the other point of view. If you really tried and you really wanted your audience to like what you put out rather than just cashing out, you would still have that hype for years and years and years. Because every year it would be, I can't wait to see what these people are going to put out. It's like let's look at like a video game, for example. GTA 5 was a huge success. And Rockstar could have pumped out 30 games in the next 2 to 3 years with all that hype.
Arguably, but okay.
No, 100% they could have. I'm telling you, GTA was insanely popular. It became the most sold entertainment product of all time.
Well, I mean, by the time you actually like hire the people, you know, the game developers actually put it together.
I mean, Rockstar's pretty big. They can do it. But
okay.
Basically, my point is, you could have made a ton of games, right? Would they have been good? Maybe not. You know, maybe not good games. But you would have cashed out on your hype that GTA 5 built you, right? And you would have made so much money on those 5 games. Would people be playing them nowadays in 2019? Probably not. But you made your money back then, okay? Now think about it this way.
Okay.
Rockstar didn't do that. Rockstar waited 6 years or 5 years to release Red Dead Redemption 2. They worked on it. It was an amazing game, and people love it. And you know what's going to happen? The hype is still there for Rockstar. Rockstar Games' hype is still there because they took the time to invest in a product that the audience would appreciate rather than just cashing out on the hype that was built from whatever thing they had. And I think if you're looking at it from a long-term perspective, it's better to do it this way because you're consistently people are still talking about your brand. There's still something that excites people about you, and you're not just using your audience as a means to get rich. I mean, obviously you're gonna get rich, but you're getting rich on the idea that you really want to provide a good product for the audience, rather than just like, oh my gosh, I have all this hype, might as well just cash out.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I've been like sitting here because like you're talking about rap. I honestly have like no idea what you're talking about, but I get the point you're making now, which makes this a whole lot easier for me to kind of like relate to, because I don't know, like when I think of like what you're talking about, like when you have artists who are making music just for the sake of it. Now here's the thing: I don't know. Sometimes I can't tell whether it's something I probably want to learn more about. Is whether artists are. I feel like you'd have to be an artist to know this, or like some sort of producer, but whether artists. It's either artists being pressured by their producer to make certain music, or whether it's the artist being like, okay, I want this kind of money, and I know by following X formula, I'll get, I'll make a lot. But what I would like a great analogy of that is you have like someone like Taylor Swift. She had a really good following. She had an amazing following. I think even Justin Bieber had a great following for this kind of music. Could it be because they were a bit younger and it's like, oh, it's a bit more relatable, and they have that younger, like the charm and the what do you call it, like starstruck effect, right? And then they grew up, but they're like, arguably Justin Bieber's music I don't think changed that drastically. I think it was more. I
mean, I would argue it would.
Well, I mean, he went from stuff like from Baby to like actually hitting puberty to doing stuff like Boyfriend, which is kind of fair. I mean, he went from like the young innocent kind of boy to like more like the bad boy kind of thing, kind of. But again, okay, what I'm saying with Taylor Swift though is the example I want to use because it's so true. What was her? Okay, I'm trying to think now. What was her like last song before she did? I think it was Bad Blood that really, like, it pushed it. That kind of completely did a 180 for her music.
It was Look What You Made Me Do. That's the song I was
before.
Oh.
Sorry, before that.
Oh, I have
Before
no
that. Yeah, it was that song to me was like the strangest thing because, like,
What You Made Me Do.
Yeah, because I've grown up.
She was rapping.
I don't know. I just don't get it because because maybe the producers were like, oh, we see like a rap trend really coming in now. We should push her in that direction.
100%. That's what it was.
But like, it doesn't make sense to me though because she had such a big following, and again, so did Justin Bieber. So it's like if you have this big following, and you're kind of just like really testing it, because when you change your genre and you change your style of music, you're like really pushing your limits with your audience.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do that? Why not just
cash out?
But that's the thing. So it makes me wonder if it's the artist being pressured by the producer saying, okay, we want you to produce this style, we want you to sing this kind of music, or either like one, we'll cut your contract, or we'll drop you, or just like we'll fade it out. Which really sucks because like you had some really good like diverse music. Again, I there was a person like Filthy Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a whole thing on this. It's like, why are people complaining about? It's like, oh, I was born in the wrong. Like, this music sucks. Like, well, you have to watch it to know. But anyways, the point being is that it's slightly hypocritical because I know I'll probably look back and some other 20-year-old's probably gonna say this 10 years from now, but. It's just weird like that their music changes so much. Maybe we're just getting to that age where like you kind of hit a certain age, and then when the new kind of generational of music comes in, it's completely different from what you're used to. So it's like, oh, I can't stand. Because I mean, if we show our parents like the style of music we listen to, they'd be like, what is this?
It's very valid point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we are just experiencing what people
20 years before
are experiencing the same thing,
right?
And we're just voicing our opinions.
Because if I think maybe 10 years, people who are like 10 years older than us, I'm thinking they would probably be into like, again, it depends what they're into, but like they would probably be into like boy bands, for instance, because like you have like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys who were super popular early 2000s. That was a big thing. Man, it's okay. I guess we'll like stick with this for a while, but I want to get into something else because I think what we're going to do for these cloud thoughts, I'm going to try to keep it with an hour. We'll see where that goes from there, and then we'll be a bit flexible. So we got about 20 minutes. Nope. 10 minutes? 15 minutes. Whatever. Sorry, but I think you really want to say something. But that's basically my point being, it's just like maybe we're just kind of like it's doing the music style is kind of making a shift now, because for us it was really like the gradual kind of like build up of EDM, and then pop music really making like a big, I think, a peak.
Oh, for sure.
And then
I'd say pop is still at a peak right now.
I'd say EDM is really that. Okay, that's one thing. I think really EDM is kind of, to me, very slowly declining. It had its time where house music sounded super unique, and it sounded like it had it had some really good lyrics. It had like some really good stuff, but now it's to me. I mean, I know house beats and like D&B and electro, and I know techno was technically electro, or is it techno? Techno was the first.
Techno and electro are two different things. Yeah,
but like I'm pretty sure it was techno,
honestly, in my opinion, I think techno was the first. Of EDM.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that had its audience, and that's kind of passed. And then you have like house music. To me, is dying out very slowly. I don't think it's gonna stick around that much longer.
Right now, the only EDM music that's popular is club music.
Yeah, I think because you see artists like shout outs to Ontario, to bands like The Weeknd. Sorry, that's what I'm thinking of. They're from
The Weeknd is a guy.
Isn't it a band?
No, it's one guy.
Oh, I'm dumb. Sorry.
No, he's from. I think he's from Toronto.
No, he's not from Toronto. I know that much. They're from. It starts with an S. It's not Scranton.
Scranton. No. Is he Sarnia?
No. Doesn't matter. Okay, anyways.
Sudbury?
Maybe.
I don't know. He's from this area. He's from this area.
He's from Ontario. The point is.
Yeah.
But anyways, the point I think I see, if you really think about like, so what is the next style of music? If anything, I think from 2000.
It says Toronto, but I don't think he's from Toronto.
No, I think he's born. Or maybe I'm getting mixed up with Justin Bieber, because I know Justin Bieber's not from Toronto. He's from
Toronto. Justin Bieber is from he's from a city a couple hours away from here.
Mm-hmm. I forget the name now. I feel really stupid.
I'm actually gonna Google this guy.
Okay, but the point is, I think now, if you think about it, we're going through a music shift of genre, like what's really popular. Like we're going from what we're used to, which is like the pop, a little bit of punk.
It says he's from London.
London, Ontario?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Really? He's from London? I swear it started with a B. He was
Me
a city.
too. Yeah, like Brantford or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But
anyway.
anyways, point is that where we are making that like music genre shift, and now they think about it, if we were to like actually characterize it, it would be to me, it's really like, I want to say this without saying it the way I want to in my head right now. I'm trying to think of a different way to say it. But basically the music that you listen to when you're like high, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's really low verb.
Oh,
like
yeah.
If do you know what I mean by lo-fi music?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like,
yeah,
but I guess if you, like, to those who are
100%.
listening, if you don't know what I mean, like lo-fi it's just really like, how do you put that in? Okay, if you know Charlie Brown, for instance, like Charlie Brown the cartoon, like the type of music you'd hear in the background, that's like lo-fi. Like it's really like the bass is just the I don't think reverb is the right word, but basically the vocals are like super low, or the tempo is just super low. It's super relaxed.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the big thing now.
Yeah.
Like that's the trend for,
100%.
for music.
If you look at, I mean, you can even look at Toronto music. So, I mean, most of you probably don't listen to Toronto music, but if you look at the music that's being made right now in Toronto, it's very, I want to be high off lean, or I want to be high off weed while listening to this. Because a lot of the music you probably just can't listen to sober because it's boring. No, honestly.
Well, I mean, like marijuana is legal in Canada now, so.
Yeah, no, it is. So if you were high listening to this music, you would feel in sync. It's exactly, you're so right. It's like a lo-fi, slow tempo.
It is, yeah.
It's perfectly made to be listened to while high. It's and a lot of music.
I was really trying to avoid that, to be honest, but
no,
but it's true. It is.
It's very true. It's something that I've noticed a lot, especially with Toronto hip hop. But you know, I mean, I think that's the kind of the transition we're getting into, the acceptance of drugs. Acceptance as in, like, it's
legal. We'll put it that way. It's
not even just
now.
legalization. It's more of like the acceptance that people are doing it. Before,
yeah.
Well, I mean, before, you know, people who used to do drugs, they used to look at them a certain way. And now you've got people doing Molly and Xanax, and now it's just like, oh, you're just partying. So, I mean, there's like a societal acceptance of taking drugs. And with that, you know, artists are going to take advantage of that. They're going to start making music that's, you know, leaning towards that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, I say it's unfortunate. That's just, I guess, because I'm used to, like, I had my time period of music. And even now, like, I'm going back on, like, my old, like, iPod 3rd generation or 2nd, like the iPod Touch, the old things.
Yeah.
And I'm like going through all the old music. I'm like, oh man, I haven't heard this song in forever. Like this is such a good song.
Yeah.
And I say good maybe because I'm used to that. So I think at the end of the day, I think we can all take away is like everyone has their kind of niche for music, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I guess you have your time for your music, and when it passes, like if there's not an audience for it, if it's not like mainstream, then you're probably not going to see it very often, eh?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, I think so. Well, the question is like, what do you think is going to be next? That'd be another thing. It's so, because it's so weird to think about, because I think I've heard so many times like our generation is the remix kind of generation. Like I don't think we've made things that are super rich. Like some songs are original, but a lot of it's like a remix of like, or an ode to like a lot of the older stuff, right? So the question is, it's like, where are we? Where do you think, like, what are we gonna end up with? Because it's funny when for those of you who, if you still listen to Skrillex, I don't think he's much of a thing anymore.
Not mainly anymore.
But there's one of his songs, and I thought it was too funny. I don't know if he was one of the first people to predict it. Not Skrillex, but it was in what song? I think it was in Rock and. Did you ever listen to Skrillex at all?
Yeah, I listened to him.
Like his old stuff.
Yeah, like Bangarang.
Yeah. Do you know? I think it was Rock and Roll. Anyways, people know what I mean. So like Skrillex, I'm thinking of a song where he has a guy who does Breaking a Sweat. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Breaking a Sweat. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a guy
Breaking a Sweat.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah. I love that song. I listen to the gym. It's great. But anyways, no, there's a slight I'm trying to think of the old word for it, but it's not true. Basically, like a short little clip of this guy kind of, I guess, predicting EDM coming in. He was saying I'm gonna paraphrase him. I got about 5 minutes, so I'll just paraphrase him here. But he was saying he thinks the next generation of music will be a lot it will involve a lot of machines.
Okay.
And then he was absolutely right. So to me, it would be interesting to have I feel bad, I forget the name of the dude, but anyways, the point being, it'll just be really interesting because I don't think anyone, that's what I was gonna say, I don't think anyone who was probably coming from 80s music, for instance, would have ever thought or 70s music, or maybe my parents' generation ever thought EDM, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? You make music with machines, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
it's just, to me, it'll be interesting to see what will be next from all this, right? Because I mean, remixing is a thing. It's already a thing. EDM is hits hype it's going, unless it another subgenre kind of takes over.
I think
trap has risen a lot. For instance,
trap is definitely risen. If we're talking about trap as in, because there's two types of trap music now, actually. There's
the really annoying trap beat. I cannot stand trap. I can't stand
EDM,
trap.
Which is the one you're talking about.
I'm talking about trap beats that you hear along with rappers. I can't stand it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there's trap EDM, and then there's trap hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And trap hip hop is the idea that you're a trapper, and a trapper is somebody who's been selling drugs.
Oh no.
Okay. No, but I know
no.
I know you didn't know the difference. That's
I didn't
why
even
I was
know that was
saying
a thing.
Yeah, so there's two different. I know which trap you're talking about, the bam, bam, bam. That's the one you're talking about.
No, it's like rap beats.
Yeah, the hardcore kind of insane bass drops kind of a thing.
It's, in terms of drumming, it's I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna embarrass myself if I do. But anyways, okay, go ahead. I know what you mean.
So I think in the future, because right now we're in a hip hop era, right? Everybody wants to do hip hop, even YouTube.
Even I think lo-fi is coming in.
Yeah, so I think what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a lot of I can't think of this word right now, but anyway, there's gonna be a lot of distortions in beats.
Okay.
And the reason why
half beats, you mean, off beats and stuff?
Whatever it is. So when I literally going into the beat and taking the sound waves and messing with them and distorting it left and right and up and down, making these noises that can only be generated through computers.
Do you mean scratching? Similar to scratching on
no.
DJing?
So we have regular sounds, right? We have regular sounds that come from bass, percussion,
sure.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that is all sounds that we can produce by hand. You can go on a computer and do it, but there's sounds that you can only make using a computer, and that's because you're distorting real life sounds. So going back to what you were saying with the remix, I think we've gotten to a point in music where it's so hard to make something original because there's so much music out there,
right?
So the only way to make something original is to distort a bunch of tracks, because distortions can be unique. You can distort something that nobody has distorted before, and it sounds different. You may be using the same kind of bass or the same kind of percussion or the same kind of string, but it's because it's distorted, it sounds different. And I think that's where we're going to lead to, is you're going to see a lot of songs, they're going to have a lot of sounds that are distorted in, for example, Adobe Premiere Pro or whatever program they have. They're going to go into the sound waves and mess with it, and it'll sound so different, and we're going to be feeling like we're in a trance. We're going to be listening to this music that's so crazy, it's going to mess up our heads were gonna be like, yo, what am I listening to right now? It's just gonna be. That's what I think music is gonna turn into.
Because I'm kind of thinking, like, kind of like post-apocalyptic kind of vibes, where like we've kind of had our period of like utopia kind of thing. Like we've had a really good time of like parties and stuff like that, and it's gonna move into like, you know what I haven't actually. Well, another thing too. You know, I haven't really seen rise too much is like really good motivational music. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's actually true.
And even, but yeah, I still think of like post-apocalyptic, post-utopia will like kind of music will be a thing. Like you've had the trap, you've had like really hype music.
Yeah.
But I think now you have lo-fi. That's probably going to influence like the next stuff, which will be like, it won't be like lo-fi in the sense, but it'll just be like really relaxed, chill kind of music. And I don't know why I don't know why reggae and like the beach came to mind. Or like luau music, but like I don't know, maybe stuff like that.
So
and
you're
then
saying
with, like,
from going from a super high tempo like era to a really low tempo, chilled out.
Because I think that's where we're coming from, like especially like again like what at the age I was talking about. We're okay over time. That we've gone from like really like partying kind of music. Now we're kind of going into like relaxed, like high vibes, like out of this world kind of vibes. Yeah. I think that'll kind of continue, so it'll be somewhere between like music being super down to earth and music being super like just nutty and be yeah. I think it'll be somewhere in between there because I don't really think you can go any higher than we are now.
Yeah, so. Like unless people, I mean, right now it's crazy the stuff that people will do to experience a new high. But I mean,
yep.
Anyway, and, opioids are pretty scary stuff. But
I mean, yeah. It'll be. I think we've kind of gone through the whole. To be honest, it's kind of weird. We've actually given like in this whole podcast episode, we've given like a mini biography of music.
Yeah, I guess with our
opinions of like where it is and where it's going.
Our opinions and limited knowledge on the industry, but
yeah, it'll be weird to see if then there'll be. Well, I guess I'll wrap up with this. Like I say that there's. Everyone has their niche of music, and I think Filthy Frank and I think other people are right. Like I don't know why my voice keeps cracking, but
drink some more water.
Everyone has their like kind of niche age of music, and if you do look enough, you will find what the kind of music you're looking for. It might not be. You know, do you think that would kind of categorize as indie music then? Like when something kind of goes out of trend?
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see then if like indie music is either. So I think it's important is maybe to look at like indie music, because I think stuff like Imagine Dragons I'm pretty sure it was considered like indie music back in the time, or not Of Mice and Men, like Mumford and Sons, like that was indie
Mumford
music.
And Sons is at another restaurant. Now I'm going to another restaurant. Have you ever seen that? It's like the mean tweets. It's like,
okay, I
love how music takes you away to another place. Like how Mumford and Sons is playing at this restaurant, so now I'm going to another restaurant.
Oh, I get you.
That's funny.
But no, I do. So I think if you do look hard enough, you'll find your like what you're like the kind of music you're looking for.
Yeah, there's so much music out there, and there's such good music too, and we're so clouded by this mainstream, again, formula-based music that we don't really get to see the individuality of artists. But
I think because we got like 2 minutes left. I want to try to keep it around an hour, just to see where we go. But basically, I just lost my train of thought. Wow. I think I was talking about... What was I talking about before? Honestly,
you were talking about
it's just
how
gone now.
Certain music is labeled as indie.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I think moral of the story is top 10 like hit list is one thing, but I would explore around, especially if like you're 12 like preteens, like actually take a second and like explore like different genres of music, because the people are still producing it, and if they wouldn't be making it unless they had an audience for it. So I mean, yeah, like poke around with your music. Like surprisingly right now I've actually gotten into like some like a bit of metal, believe it or not. Yeah, I know it's really weird because I was into like a little bit of screamo, a little bit of rock when I was like in my like when I was a teen, and now I've like when I've kind of gone back to a bit of metal, I'm like super, and it gets me like super motivated too.
Yeah,
but anyways, that is, and that, like I said, it's literally Cloud Thoughts. They just kind of come and go as they please. So, thank you guys for listening. This has just been So thank you guys again. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Cloud Thoughts episode 1 again, where our thoughts just kind of come and go as they please, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, it's just going to be super loose, super free kind of format, so stay tuned. Well, not stay tuned, but
well, do stay tuned. We're going to be doing more stuff.
Subscribe.
We're definitely going to be having guests on the show.
Mm-hmm.
This is just episode 1, so we're kind of
just experimenting.
Yeah, we're just experimenting with it right now, but we will be getting guests on the show. We're going to have specific shows, dedicated to specific topics. Cloud Thoughts is probably going to be our most
active one.
Probably most active
one, yeah.
We'll do this mainly once a week if we can. We do have busy lives, but we do want to stay committed to the podcast, so we'll probably get this done once a week, and then we'll have our specific topic-based shows maybe once a month or so, depending on who we can get on the podcast, or if something specific pops up in our feeds, or something we want to specifically talk about. But other than that, it's mostly going to be Cloud Thoughts, and yeah, this will be we'll post this on SoundCloud. We're going to post this on YouTube. Eventually, we'll get it on iTunes. We have to get some kind of, it's like
licensing?
It's like an RSS feed. It's not really licensing. We do have to pay for like an RSS feed, but we will get that up as soon as we can. And yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, let us know. Something you guys want us to talk about,
or your opinions,
or in your opinions, or let us know if you disagree or agree with anything we've been talking about. Let us know in the comments. If you're listening on YouTube, or if you're on SoundCloud or anything like that, you can hit us up. We'll leave all of our contact information on our SoundCloud page. So if there's anything you guys want to let us know, just feel free to. We're always welcoming criticism and whatnot. This is the beginning of our new podcast, so we're really looking to improve. We're really just trying to have fun with this and see where we can take it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 1 of Cloud Thoughts. My name is Caleb.
And it's Josh here.
All right, guys, take it easy. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys. And girls. No, I won't actually.